And then how many chicks were you able to bang?
Okay, that one too.
Okay. These are all the ones I wrote yesterday without even knowing.
Well, that's all right. That's
but
good.
I didn't want to put anything on blast.
There ain't nothing on there that's gonna blast me. Make sure you hit the right button, please.
Or have it hooked up.
We got food here now.
Where are we at?
Are we running? Is it running?
Go ahead, eat some food.
Tip of the tongue, tongue in the teeth.
Yeah.
We got quesadillas here.
Some quesadillas.
Tres amigos, par deux.
Part deux. You got nachos with fucking cheese. Was that your intro, Tres Amigos?
No. Hey, welcome to the Three Amigos podcast. And Scott's headphones don't work again. All right, so this is part two of our comedian rolled tacos. Yep.
Rolled tacos?
Yep.
Rolled tacos.
Rolled tacos.
Get down on that. That's a Nogales favorite.
That's fucked up looking. Look at that shit.
Yeah, that's a weird
Weird looking.
We should have got some paper plates or some shit. I don't know. Whatever.
That's right.
Anyways,
Part
so
two.
right now we're gonna basically just us eating on microphone.
Yeah.
This is the part two after being fed
And then at the
We
end,
haven't
we're
even
gonna,
been fed yet.
at the end, we're gonna say a review on it.
Wait, review what? This is more nacho. This is nachos, right? Yeah, it's nachos.
So there's gonna be a food review of one of the fucking birdos in
In
Arizona.
Arizona.
Because there's only 9,000 birdos in this entire state.
Oh my god.
Truth.
Fuck this. Nay, there is.
What kind of quesadilla?
I've seen Hiliberto's,
Shrimp?
Yeah.
Rigoberto.
Hiliberto's, Filiberto's.
I don't do fish.
Rigoberto's.
Stegobertos, Albertos, Robertos.
Yeah, I don't understand. I'm assuming Bertos means know how to cook
Yeah.
It's true.
in Mexican.
That is true. You're right.
It is, right?
Yeah.
Oh, is Mexican is like a special language? Is that?
It is. It's not Spanish.
Maybe we learned that in one of the episodes.
No, the language they speak in Mexico is Mexican.
It
is not Spanish. Spanish is
true.
Yeah. They will get pissed. You call it Spanish. Don't call it Spanish.
Yep.
That's true.
You can't even call it Espanol.
There's a lot
it
of
is
languages.
Espanol.
There's a lot of languages.
There is
too.
Espanol. There is Mexican, but there is no Spanish.
We brought this up on our previous episode where I was all like, "Hey, well, what if?" Or not? What if? Isn't Italian kind of like Spanish?
No, that's European.
You were like it. So you were like it's Spaniard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And
Exactly.
I just unplugged.
My grandfather was Spaniard.
Was he?
He was.
What, really?
He was.
Oh, okay.
What? Who's this? Spaniard?
Well, I mean, there's
No, not my grandfather. My great grandfather.
Oh, your great.
Yeah, actually.
So you're not even Mexican. Not even a quarter.
Maybe the Nana was. I don't know.
So yeah, okay,
Somebody
yeah.
was, huh?
You said
Somebody
you're a
was.
quarter.
Can you
Maybe
really
quarter.
call her a
You're a
nana
quarter.
though? If you were like,
My Nana's a Nana. She's a Nana.
yeah, but she's like Spaniard. She's not Mexican.
No, but
No,
maybe she might be I don't know. She might be 50-50. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, the great grandfather that was here, who grew up in Texas, Tucson, actually helped build the railroad here in Arizona.
So he was Asian.
No, he was not Asian. He was
The
not in the
Asians
camp.
built the railroad.
That's true, but not the Arizona portion.
Oh, so he
and
was
the
part of
Irish,
the 310.
and the Irish, bro.
Oh, the Irish did too. Yeah,
The
you're right.
Irish built the
You're right.
railroad too. I mean, I've got a little bit of a torrid past with my family lineage. Okay,
Yeah.
World War I, World War II time, right? World War I, my family was. I had a German great grandfather and a Polish great grandmother.
Ooh,
Okay.
So
how about those?
basically, what ended up happening was when the Germans invaded Poland, my grandfather raped my great grandmother, got her pregnant, and then brought her, brought her back to Germany. And then that child came over here to America on a boat when she was like 8, and that's how my family started.
Wow. Yeah.
On my father's side.
That's on my mom's side. My dad's side was all rednecks and hillbillies that were all, Irish and shit.
Oh shit.
So
On my father's side, it was all Denmark. I'm third generation from Denmark.
wow.
Mexico.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
know. We know.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You were actually born
Like-
in Mexico, right?
Yeah, I was.
Like the Tijuana
yeah.
part where there's an invasion going on, or what?
You know something? I'm gonna be honest. I don't know where that invasion is going on. That big thing.
The one that's going on right now?
It's in
Yeah.
Texas. It's not.
Oh,
Yeah, it's near
maybe.
Texas.
Maybe,
They said
yeah.
it was Tijuana. They're coming in from Tijuana to Tijuana, and like that's what I've seen on news
Well,
clips.
why are there 5,600 troops in Galveston, Texas?
Because it's various spots in the border, I guess, but I don't know what to believe, man. It's like Walmart closing and that being the apocalyptic end was with all the Walmarts closing
Really?
Yeah.
about 2-3 years ago. I don't know if you remember that shit, but
That'll bring us to our homework next week.
right.
Of watching Walmart closes?
Yeah. What?
What do you mean?
Homework.
What?
Apocalyptic.
Oh, yeah. Children of Men.
Children
Yeah.
of Men.
Children of Men, yeah.
Yeah, because in the last episode we talked a little bit about what movie, what.
Oh, yeah,
whatever.
or homework, or whatever we're talking about, yeah. Children of Men, and then...
Made sure I threw that one in there.
Nice, good job. And then Mark's,
And then
Mark's
one of
shitty
Mark's,
movie.
yeah.
His Guyver.
MacGyver.
MacGyver. Yeah, we talked
MacGyver.
about that.
Not MacGyver. Guyver.
Guyver.
Right.
I can't wait for Albert to watch MacGyver, and
Yeah.
that's fucking...
He's gonna be like, God
Why
damn
me?
white people.
I couldn't watch all the seasons. What?
Oh my Guyver.
Or the Guyver or the MacGyver
Well,
movie.
our caveat was like, let me find it, and then what's in that box? Oh, that's super
what
nachos.
chips?
What we
Oh
talking
no,
about?
that's just chip and guac. There should be
yeah.
guac somewhere.
Looks like there's a bunch of guac in that bag over there.
So we definitely decided that food was an option.
Very. I'm gonna
Yeah,
eat
'cause,
that, but
like-
I'm gonna wait.
You're gonna wait on the.
I am. It's too much guac. I'm not a guac fan.
You have nothing here you can eat then, because there's
Yeah,
green
everything-
shit all over everything.
This one's seafood. I guess I can get down on the meat nacho.
At least this
there.
half over here.
There's no
there's
guac
guac
there.
over here.
What is that over there?
It's like a super nacho.
A super nacho?
It's
I
got
don't
some.
even know.
Look at shit. That's so loud.
It's got the carne asada on it.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Look at that. Yeah.
Isn't this what we talked about that one episode though? We're like, hey, let's try to eat
Yeah.
shit.
It's
Steak.
so-
The steak. The
so
steak
hard to do, and
show.
it's like it's really, unless you have a eating talk show.
Yeah, it's true.
We definitely do not have an eating talk show.
You
I
could
don't even know what we have.
break into the foodie market by doing that. That could be
We
your
could.
that
Order
could
it
be
up.
New
Ordered
audience,
up and-
guys. New audience.
Be your market. Fuck, dude.
True.
You can't eat this with like bare hands, man.
You want me to get some silverware?
You nailed it.
I'm gonna get some silverware. You guys are like all over the.
I just need napkins, bro. You got a dog? Because like there's half of my food.
Is that a Chipotle napkin?
Yeah.
That's even funnier. We didn't even get Chipotle. There's Chipotle napkins.
They gave us
What
Chipotle
kind of shit is
napkins
that?
at Filiberto's.
How funny.
Filiberto's is co-sponsored by.
Is that where it was?
It's
from?
the it's the
Filiberto's?
hidden sponsor.
Yeah, chili bees.
Mm-hmm.
Philippines.
Shit.
About it.
All right. So what was the
Napkins.
next question you had for our
So yeah,
guest,
we were on
Tommy
this
D?
question thing here.
We were running questions. I guess we can come back to that. Do you want me to run through the same thing again, or what do you?
There
Which
was
one was good that
there
you
was
thought?
there was a couple on there. I'll let you pick.
Okay, well, I guess okay. One of the questions I had
You like shrimp? No.
when you were growing up, how many fights did you get into in school?
I was I grew up on a country road with 9 other guys or 9 other families that each had 1 or 2 boys in it. So we had a clan of about 11.
Okay.
I was the youngest, or actually I was the same age as the youngest, but I also had a little sister.
Okay.
So at that point, I got my ass
Okay.
kicked daily by 11 guys that wanted to fuck with my sister.
Uh,
And that happened until I was in high school. And so my ass whoopings were daily. But any one of those 11 guys that I call brother today will tell you that if there's ever a fight, they don't want to be in it with me, but they would certainly want me to be the only one they were back to back with, because I can take an ass whooping. Okay, so there might be 9 of them. I'm gonna go through all 9 before I'm done.
Right.
Their hands are gonna be broken. They're not gonna be able to punch anymore, and they're gonna be out of breath. And I'm gonna look like a fucking prune.
Because they went to town on you.
Yes, that's happened several times. But then my buddies can help, like, finish off 1 or 2 more. For me.
That's good.
This sounds like a
Relieve
gay
the pain.
porn.
It is, maybe it could be a it could be a segue.
Is this a fight?
This is
or
a
is this
segue?
like
Or
gay
just-
porn? I don't
yeah,
know.
because-
I don't know.
I played high school football. I played college football. I did rodeo clowning for a hobby in my 20s.
You're like a goddamn dictionary of fun.
I had
Because
Yeah.
hold on, that's like baskets.
That's easy.
Baskets. He was a rodeo clown in a sense. I mean, that's kind of what. Sorry. Hello. That was funny. What was the other thing? What did you say before that? Before the rodeo thing?
football.
Football. Okay. What position did you play?
College football, I played outside linebacker, and when I was in high school, I played free safety or cornerback.
Okay.
So I did roids between my senior year and freshman to college.
Damn.
Jacked up to about 240, and I could bench press a fucking Volkswagen.
Wow.
And
240?
yeah,
Dying pigs.
I was 240 pounds of just brick shit house at 5'9". I was a bad little outside linebacker. They had me listed
and that's why they stopped fighting you in the
6'1".
fucking streets.
Yeah, I quit getting my ass whooped after I started fighting back. My dad was like really pissed that I was always getting picked on, so he, taught me boxing in the living room just by beating my ass. He called it teaching me self-defense. I called it abuse. But
My stepdad was pretty similar to that.
yeah, so, but and so as I got older, I just learned to fight, and by the time I was 21 drinking in the bars and shit, I learned. I didn't know it then, but I can look back now and know I was an adrenaline junkie, and bar fights was like literally a hobby.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you can go to a bar starting Thursday night, and I'd fight my way through every bar in town. By Sunday morning, I was kicked out of every one of them there. Well,
Sounds like my normal weekend.
That is your normal weekend
To date.
to date.
I mean, for now.
yeah.
Silver.
Anyone have anything else? If you were on Comedy Central, or if you had a show opportunity, if you had to pitch something, what would you do, or what kind of show would you want to be on, or what would you like to be on Comedy Central doing?
As a comedian, to be on Comedy Central, I think right now in this stage of the career I'm in, I'd like to do like whatever comedy contest. I don't actually watch Comedy Central, so I have no freaking clue.
Yeah.
But I would want to do their like
Roast? Or like the
the battle, not the battle, but the where it's like a new comics.
Okay.
Okay.
Type of show.
What's it called?
Almost like a stand-up, like a last
they got
comics,
talent.
like a
Last
last.
yeah.
Last comic stand.
Last comic stand.
It's where it's more like a competition where I got
Last comic stand.
where I do like a competition because I'm going to be trying to go for America's Got Talent
Yeah.
here in February.
Oh, are you?
And I want to go do America's Got Talent. So I mean, getting on Comedy Central to do a like talent contest where it's just comedians competing to see who's the funniest. Yeah, that's I mean, that's what I do at open mics now. We kind of do side competition.
On one of our episodes, we brought up fame, right? Like, what happens if we hit it, right?
Yeah, if you make it.
You're famous.
What would you do? Or not what would you do? How would you handle fame?
Yeah,
Fame.
Let's say you have a Comedy Central thing, or you are the last.
I mean, you got a pretty good following right now with your.
I've been lucky, and I'll try to stay modest in saying that 300 people following me in the last 6 months has been amazing.
Yeah.
And I've got a literally like 20 to 40 new people hit me up on Facebook daily, and so that's been kind of an ego boost, and it's cool and stuff. It's motivator.
So
it's a
the question really is like, okay, well, what if when it hits, You know, like how would you handle it?
Well, fortunately, I had a dose of fame when I was younger.
Okay.
Not in the mainstream world. But I did do some modeling back when I was stripping. I also did movies, and magazines, stuff like that.
Okay.
I was pretty into the adult entertainment world. I was going to the AVN Awards 2 years in a row, once as a judge and once as a nominee. And I was on, back when I started adult entertainment, the .com world was huge.
Yeah.
I made a few $100,000 doing .com sales. I would just sit out in my hot tub and smoke as much weed as possible and then come up with .com names and literally buy them by the thousands and
Yeah.
then turn around and sell them
And
for
sell
20
them
and
out.
$30.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'd buy them for pennies on the dollar
No, yeah.
and turn around and sell them. I think at one point I probably did sell something like Tumblr or, some of these crazy fucking .coms that are
Yeah.
out there. I probably sold
one
them
of them. Yeah.
to whoever's got it now, like Uber. I'm pretty goddamn sure Uber was something I came up with and sold to somebody.
So basically,
Because fucking Uber didn't fucking come up with Uber.
with Uber.
Yeah.
They
no,
bought
you're
that
right.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
So when you did that was the .coms. It was something that you just came up with.
.com, when you talk about the .com era, when the internet was brand new and Al Gore
Yeah.
invented it, if you don't know that one, then you ain't gonna know anything about what I'm talking about. But Al Gore invented the internet, and
Supposedly.
supposedly, but back then you could literally buy a .com like it was real estate. It was a house,
Yeah.
or a piece of property.
Yeah. Piece of
dirt.
property, yeah.
It was dirt. And so dirt, if you do real estate now, you know that dirt doesn't sell unless there's other dirt around it that's valuable. And in the .com world, nothing was valuable yet. Right? So you just bought everything that sounded cool. Like peanut
Yeah.
butter and jelly was sold for $1,500 10 minutes after it was bought. Peanutbutterandjelly.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody, you could trade it like a stock.
Yeah.
And so that's all we did, was we would sit around and we would spend maybe $1,000 on 1,000 domain names. And if you bought 1,000 domain names, they were literally a dollar a piece,
Yeah.
and you could buy 1,000 domain names. And then what you did was you put them on the market to sell. And so if somebody wanted a very specific name like weather.com,
Yeah.
because
Okay.
your ass bought that, you could be
Yeah.
like, well, I'll auction it. There was
Yeah.
auctions. I would just sell my shit straight out and just put it
Yeah.
up there, and somebody would pay $10 for a name I spent $1 to get.
Yeah.
That's 900% markup.
Yeah.
So, and that was one of the ways I did supplemented income while I was dancing. Dancing took off. I worked with the Chippendales for 6 months on the East Coast.
Oh.
Worked with Lou Pearlman.
Lou Ferrigno?
Lou Pearlman. Lou Pearlman owned the rights to the Chippendales.
Okay.
Oh, really?
And
Okay.
so if you wanted to buy a franchise, you had to buy it from Lou.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So,
I kind of
and
figured that was a
Did
friend.
Lou have a cane?
he did.
That's wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he had
He
a,
just sounded like
I
you would have
feel
one.
like you almost had one.
Yeah, you should have one if you had that whole.
I
Like,
feel like you almost knew.
When you
knew
have the rights.
He had one, though.
well, you know
No, I
who Lou
didn't.
you know who Lou Pearlman
no, I
is?
have no clue, but I just guessed.
He
because
went
felt
to federal prison for Ponzi scheme.
Really?
But,
He did
yeah.
a Ponzi scheme.
But he was the one that came up with the Backstreet Boys NSYNC.
Oh, that guy.
Oh,
Yeah, that was
shit.
him.
Are you serious?
I do.
Oh.
I did see
Yeah.
that. I saw
Oh,
that.
I
I
didn't
saw
know
that
that.
on that one show that on CNBC. The whole.
Ponzi scheme he did?
Yeah, when he did that, they were talking about. I think it's Mad Money or not Mad Money, but it's
One of those shows.
He
one of those
pulled in-
shows. They were talking about
He
what he
pulled
did.
in a lot of cash from a lot of places. Like
He
selling the franchise rights to the Chippendales was one of his schemes.
But he started. He
So-
started. He didn't start Chippendales.
No,
He just-
hell
he
no,
just-
no.
okay.
Actually,
how is
Oh, he
selling
is-
the
he is-
franchise?
actually,
Really?
a guy I know by the name of Nick Sharapelli
Was the guy
lives
that
in
started
New
it?
Jersey. Yeah, was the original Chippendale, one of the first original Chippendale dancers.
Oh, really?
And I worked with him on FloridaStrips.com. That was my website in my dance company in the state of Florida for 7 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had the #1 spot, 1 through 10 on Google search, and had awesome search engine optimization back then. Because back then it was real easy. It was called keywords, and everything was written in HTML. And so I didn't even have to worry about that shit. But to answer your question, fame makes you stupid. It makes you dumb.
Well, how would you handle it differently?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But now,
The
You
first
know
thing
you've
the
had a
first
taste
thing
in it,
I'm gonna
right?
do is get out of debt. Like
Yeah.
when people get money, the first thing they do is go in debt.
Yeah.
Well, let's
Get more
not
debt.
really talk about money. The money portion of
The
it.
money
The
portion is
comes-
what the money portion is what fucks you up.
Yeah.
Because there's
There you
three
go.
things that motivate people: fame, money, and personal feeling inside,
Personal
pride,
gain.
Yeah.
personal
Gain,
pride. So those are the three motivating factors to any human being: fame,
Yeah.
finance, and feeling good.
So take
So-
the finance aspect out of it, though. Like,
But
just,
that's what my motivation is: to becoming popular.
yeah.
That when I hit it, people will judge what their level of success is based on their financial, based on how good they feel about it, or based on how many people like them. That's what fame is. So I've never looked at fame as to how many people are paying attention to what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because to me, I don't care if 1 or 10 million are paying attention to what I'm doing it.
Yeah.
For me, when I know I've made it is when I'm making $1,500 a minute. And
Okay.
I figured it out one time, and that's how much I've made.
That's
That's
good.
When I was making some cash, I was slinging dough. $1,500 a minute was the most I made in one day. I was like, cool.
And that was when you filed bankruptcy, right?
Yeah,
That was
the next
several years later.
Next day.
Several years later, because what
Isn't
people
that
do.
how the big banks do it? I mean, that they're like making all
Right?
this
Yeah,
cash. and they're all
weren't you
like-
too big to fail?
I thought so.
that
I really thought
Yeah,
so.
me too.
But you get old and you get fat, and you
Yeah.
can't keep taking your clothes off for a living. So,
I
I
know
don't know. I
that.
think you can
But-
just
I
know
keep
that,
taking your clothes
I
off for a living.
well, you're not going to make any money at it.
So you keep doing it. No one's gonna pay you.
There is money,
on
right?
doing it.
But then there is also fame. There's like a.
Well,
They go
let's
hand
put
in
it this
hand,
way.
but they
Yeah.
also don't
Let's put it
go
this
hand
way.
in hand.
For me, fame was for example, when I would walk into a place where I knew nobody, and somebody's like, "Hey, you're that guy,"
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
fame.
and
I
that,
agree,
and
I
that,
agree.
and that's a scary feeling for me. That is not a comfortable feeling for me.
Okay.
I don't like that.
Are you the
Really?
type? Are you the type of person that's kind of confidential and you don't want people coming up to you to say that kind of thing to you, like out of nowhere?
Yeah,
That's kind of how I am. Like if I was that
It's
person,
weird.
if I was somebody
it's weird for me, and
to
I
come
do.
up out of the blue and say,
And it's
"Hey,
because of the
you're
shit
that
I've done. Like I mean, being a male stripper, somebody comes up, they're like, "Hey, you're that guy." I'm like, "Oh shit!
Wait,
You seen my, what did you see? What did I do?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You
What do
know,
you mean? Where do you see
How do you really know me?
How do you really know me? But
Yeah,
if I was
yeah.
if I was a preacher or something, I
That's
probably
weird
wouldn't
too,
be
though.
worried
That's
about
weird.
it. I might.
Same thing. It's the same scenario.
Yeah, so
I might
what
be
have you
okay
done?
with it.
What have you done to
It's
me?
my own guilty conscience that I would, I'm afraid of.
How
but-
did I make you walk? What? Preacher?
As a priest?
No? Yeah.
Priest? Yeah. Gross.
Never mind. All right.
I say preacher
No, you're
because
right.
priests are dirty. They like little boys.
Oh,
So-
that's
Oh,
what
we brought that up in the last episode.
What did we
So-
talk about?
Never mind.
Priests. I was born and raised Catholic until I was 16,
sorry.
17, or 18 actually. I did all the phases of Catholicism,
Right.
Yeah.
where you do the different
Communions
stages,
and whatnot.
Yeah,
the stages of anointment or whatever it's called.
yeah.
Atonement.
Sorry. When you said that, I thought you were saying put the ointment. Put the ointment
Right,
on the
put
priest.
the ointment. I was never
Put the
touched
ointment
by
on
a
the priest.
priest as a kid, but
Do you feel offended by that?
Yeah, are you mad that they
no,
didn't, that he didn't touch
no.
you?
What I do know is that
Like, why did they pick you?
Yeah.
the reason why they didn't pick me, I was like spawn of Satan.
Oh.
So I mean, I would probably enjoy it, which would freak them out. So, no,
And here we go, awkward.
I punched
Isn't that
a
awkward? That's funny.
punched a
Yeah.
nun in the mouth when I was like second grade. I went to Catholic school.
I was gonna say
She
you went
didn't
to
kiss you
Catholic
good
school?
enough or what?
I went to a
No,
Lutheran school when I was.
she told me that we were talking about going to heaven and hell or something in second grade, of course. And
There's always a bad place.
That's what you learn in second grade Catholic school. Is
Right.
how, there's heaven, there's hell. If you're bad, you're going to hell. If you're good, you're going to heaven. So what do you do with babies when they die? Then
I don't know.
they didn't have a chance to be bad or good.
Yeah.
And the nun's like, well, they still go to hell because their mom did something bad, so they have to go to hell.
See,
And-
Lutheranism
That's
is a
fucked
little
up.
different. They're like, well, they're innocent until.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, not in Catholicism. It's,
Yeah.
it's kind of flipped. And so the nun told her, told me no, the baby's going to go to hell because the mother did something bad. And I'm like, I had a personal issue with that because I had an aunt who just lost a baby. And I'm only in second grade. You're only, what, 7, 8 years old
Yeah.
at most?
Yeah.
I flipped the fuck out. I called her a fucking lying bitch. And she come at me with that yardstick.
The ruler?
The
Oh,
3-foot long
shit.
yardstick
Yeah,
and
oh,
started
shit.
going to cracking at me.
Really?
And I yanked it out of her hand and popped her in the mouth with it. And down the road I went, man. I ran out of that school as fast as I could. And all the way to my grandma's house. And my dad had to go to the church, and they paid a lot of money for stuff. Lots of donations had to happen to stay part of the church. And I just didn't go back to Catholic school. I went to public school, but I still had to go through Sunday school and earn my shit. So,
So did your first communion and everything?
I did first communion, did first confession, did my confirmation, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then baptism first. Yeah. But yeah, then I actually got divorced, and I was going through my divorce, and I went to the church, and I was like, I need some counseling. I'd like to talk to the priest. And so I'm 19, 20 years old. I'm dying inside. My wife's cheating on me. She's the mother of my child. And I know I got married too young, but I'm just hurting and da-da-da-da-da. And so I go in there and I tell him I need to talk to the priest, and the secretary behind the desk there, she hands me a donation sheet, and it's like half hour. For a half hour, it's $60. For an hour, it was $110. And like if you needed to talk to you had to donate a certain amount of money to get that time with the. And I'm like, this is bullshit. So I paid the money and started talking to the priest because I felt guilty and shit, And so I paid him, and we're going through talking about it, and I get to the part about he's like, well, you got to forgive her, and you just got to try to move on. And I'm like, hold up a minute. I'm like, Old Testament, what happened to the bitch that cheated on people? Yeah. They dug a hole, put her in the ground, and hit her in the head with stones until she died. Why can't we do that? And he's like, yeah, you didn't read the part where Jesus came up and pulled her out of the ground and said, forgave her. You kind of missed all that Sunday school you went through. You failed all of it. I'm like, yeah, but he didn't get cheated on, motherfucker. That's what I think. So I gave up on religion at that point. I was done.
Religion is such a serious topic, dude. It's hard to.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, I like to tell people I got in a fight with Jesus Christ, but I do believe God exists. So.
I agree with that same phrase.
You guys have any other questions?
Religious wise?
No. I think you had a couple more.
I think I had more. I think,
you had more.
You had a couple zingers on there.
Did I? I don't know. Okay. Oh yeah. Have you ever ordered a mail order bride?
Did I ever?
Not a man, but a woman mail order bride.
So
or a man,
right? A male order bride. A mail order bride would technically be a bride female that you order through the mail.
Correct.
U.S. Postal Mail. And that's why it's so
Amazon
confusing,
Prime,
because we don't use postal mail anymore.
Are you a Prime member?
Are you a Prime member?
Absolutely.
Did you get her Prime?
Okay, so have you gotten a bride through Amazon
Prime?
No, never got a bride through Amazon Prime. I've ordered a lot of sex toys through Amazon Prime, but never a bride.
Is that real? No.
I might have to look into that though.
That if you have to check your history to see if you ordered one.
To order one?
No, that you've done one because you don't know.
No, I know. I'm just saying I
she's
need
lost.
To. I probably need to. With 4 ex-wives, it would probably be
you should
just order one up. Yeah. So it's either that or go get them straight out of high school, train them up.
To make them
be done with it.
Okay. So if you had to, would you like go straight Russian, or would you like do a little Serbian?
What country would
you go
to?
Actually, I would if I could pick a country to pick a bride from.
All right, yeah.
Sweden.
Sweden.
Them bitches love the sex. Oh my god, they wear the pigtails and they so the pretty.
I don't think you would. I mean,
Scandinavian.
I don't think
there
they
we
would.
go.
They wouldn't be in the pool.
They're the
I don't
most
think.
No, they're
peaceful-
Norwegian, aren't they?
I
They're
don't
not
think they're the most.
Scandinavian.
You'd be in the pool.
Peaceful
You would be.
fucking women in the world. I mean, they're from Swiss.
I agree, but I don't think they would be.
Switzerland.
I don't think they would be the ones that would
I
be
think they
like
would be
on
kinda
board and
Morning
Airbnb.
come
Swiss
here.
cheese.
To come here?
Yeah, I think they have it made where they are.
Huh? Yeah, they
Yeah,
would.
they're not gonna.
So
I mean,
they could mail order husband me.
So you go there.
Fuck
Okay,
yeah.
I like that. I like
Fuck
that.
yeah.
You go there.
I'll go there. Fuck
I
it.
want
Yeah,
my
yeah, that's
Tommy
good.
D
Yeah.
Americano.
Yeah.
No, I will go over there in a minute. Now,
Yeah.
I love
Okay.
Swiss cheese. I've always, dude. You just gave me a
Swiss
great idea.
cheese is
There you go.
amazing.
Go there.
I am going there.
Ham
You are.
and-
You just. I gotta write this down. You're a reverse mail order bride.
I am going to be. It would be a male husband.
You are a
Mail order
you're,
husband.
you're a mail order bride. You're reverse.
Whatever.
Mail order reverse.
Bride-er. I
Yeah.
can put bride-er instead of bride-e.
Right.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it.
Whatever it is. You're going the other way.
All right. What else you got?
So
Scotty?
do we put him in a box and do?
Yeah, should we
ship
Amazon
him?
Prime him?
Maybe.
Fuck yeah, sure. Yeah.
You
At
probably
least,
send
at
him.
least
Why not?
like
Well, why don't we do this?
Expedite
Why don't we
UPS.
increase my value a little bit? I do have a dildo that was made of me like 10 years ago. They still sell in the toy stores.
Oh, that's cute.
We could
Okay.
probably
Do you get
send a
royalties
bunch
for
of them
that?
over.
Yeah,
those.
you should get
Used
royalties.
To. Used
used
to.
to.
Used
Oh,
to.
what happened?
It runs out after a certain amount of time.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
There's no.
You
There's
sign
no
a
like.
contract for a certain amount of years.
That's
Yeah.
smart. That's smart on their
Yeah,
part.
yeah, real smart on their part. All I had to do was get a hard dick and put it in some fucking sand.
And mold. Yeah.
It was a sandbox, basically. Wet sand. Boom. There it is.
Boom.
Fucking, and then it hardened up, and I went soft and slid out, and boom, done.
And just like the money, it's slid away.
It did. But my dick is in a lot of pussies all over this country.
That's nice.
I'm sure it's in a lot I mean asses. 'Cause
That's true. Yeah, it's
I've
a two-way street.
I've got a schmedium dick. It's not
Okay.
too big, but
It's
not,
not
too
too
small.
bad.
You know, I like to say it's like Goldilocks.
Medium.
Medium.
It's Goldilocks. Yeah, it's not too
Just
big,
right,
not
just
too
right.
small.
Just
Fits
right.
in all three holes.
I always like to say average at best.
Average at best. I go with you,
I'm
dude.
I'm getting more and more nervous because the fact that the conversation we had earlier with the whole how you met each other. So
the truck stop.
when you bring that up, yeah. Episode 1 was the truck stop, and then when we talked about outside, I mean, I'm glad you guys are having fun.
Back to the list.
Back to the list.
You get more and more nervous, huh?
No, I'm not nervous. You guys are having fun. on and off topic.
There's questions up here.
They were on your notepad.
Oh, you got my notepad?
I think I have.
I've been asking my questions. So,
Oh, you have?
yeah, you've been sitting here quiet in the corner.
No, I've been listening. I already asked my 4 questions.
No, you didn't ask.
I have one more. It's the how many. This might be this might be a little touchy. Recently, but how many relationships have you made in the stand-up world? Like how many girls were you able to date?
Oh, 0. Yeah.
0.
No, I ain't.
So
been,
you've never.
I ain't been
been
doing this long enough to score.
You never been out fishing. To get
No.
nothing.
No.
Nothing.
No. Because
Well-
even like when I was stripping, I wouldn't even do that. Like, because
You don't want to shit where you.
you
eat.
don't want to shit where you eat, man. You just don't. You don't want to shit where you
No,
eat.
that's awful. You
And
you
if
never
there's
really
other
wanna do that.
comedians out there, I mean, there's some sexy ass female comedians out in this
there.
Phoenix area right now.
Yeah.
And if they listen, they'll probably hear it. Great, that'd be cool because then they know I'm checking them out.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know, there is a good amount of female comedians in this area that I would definitely take up on a Saturday night. But, it would just lead to drama and bullshit. And fuck up what I'm trying to do in Phoenix with
Yeah.
comedy. You know?
Okay.
Well, let me ask
That's
you
good.
this.
That means you're all professional.
How long have you been doing it?
About 7-8 months now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you've actually made pretty good strides then.
To me, I don't know. I don't.
You don't know what to compare it to?
I don't. There's nothing comparative to me because anything I've done in my life, I do it so hard and so dedicated to
Keep
it
going, keep
that I'm
going.
successful right away with it, and or at least it shows me results.
Yeah.
And if people base success on results, I typically, if I'm not doing it, if I do it for longer than a month and I see no results,
You're done.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I'll go to something else. So whether it's comedy, being a nurse, being a stripper, being a whatever.
These are a whole bunch of Halloween
being
great
a
costumes.
fisherman. I used to have a lot of costumes.
Scott's gonna be a stripper for his next
I
costume.
used
I'm
to
gonna
have
be
a lot of
I'm
times.
gonna be a nurse
So-
stripper next
Nurse
year.
stripper.
Halloween.
So,
So
all.
seven,
Hey,
7,
what-
8 months. You said 7, 8 months.
Doing
what's your
comedy
Halloween
about 7
costume?
months.
What's your Halloween?
Halloween.
I'm the Tommy D.
I'm Tommy D. The Tommy D.
I'm the WD.
That's going to be an interesting costume for you. So,
You're gonna have a strap on.
Because
You're gonna strip. You're gonna have a thong on after you strip. That'd be a good costume.
yeah.
you can make it happen.
But doing comedy, I mean, there is definitely an opportunity to get with the ladies,
Yeah.
to make those romantic encounters with the fan base and stuff.
Well, and that's what I mean. It's like you command the stage, so you're up there and you're basically. And chicks love that.
Always got groupie girls. You
Yeah,
always got groupie
Yeah, you're gonna
girls.
have fans. They love that
know.
you're commanding the stage.
Yeah, and I mean, I've probably had like maybe a half a dozen girls that were like, "Oh, you're."
Right.
You're sexy, you're hot. I had a girl. So from that standpoint, probably at least a dozen girls have
That would
approached me.
Yeah, they've been on the
that have
radar
approached me.
that they.
Yeah, and
but you haven't.
I skipped past that.
Nice.
But I kind of have a kink for that. I mean, back when I was stripping, I would dance in gay
Never
bars
stripped.
a lot.
No, just kink is.
And my don't kink shame on here, man.
I know.
But
When I hear that phrase, I'm going to point
a
at
kink is something that I think is very misunderstood as far as what the definition of that is.
Okay.
Elaborate. Everybody has their own little level.
There's a twist to everybody's level of sexuality.
Oh,
Yeah.
Everybody's got a
give me the porridge. Give it to
I
me.
mean,
The
if you
porridge.
like
all have a
missionary,
twist.
Shit,
if you
I thought
like
we were gonna
missionary,
wait like another episode
if
for this
missionary was the only thing you knew, your kink would be if she flipped
Turn
over to
around.
doggy style.
Yes.
And I compare that because when I was 18, I really thought it was kinky to do a
way.
position named
Other way.
after a
Other way.
canine fellow. And I'm like, oh, you want to do doggy style? I'm a country boy. That means you want me and my dog. So it was a little weird to understand that.
Fido, where are you at, Fido?
Yeah.
Get out the peanut butter.
Yep.
It was a party,
Right.
But learning later that that's not necessarily a kink, but more of a perversion.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference between kinky and perverted. Do you know the difference between kinky and perverted? Kinky's when you use a feather. Perverted's when you use old chicken.
Bring it back to one of your skits.
So,
Nice. Bringing it full circle.
Right.
I like it.
Yes.
so you gotta understand that when I say a kink,
He's circling back.
yeah, when I say a kink, it's actually less than perverted, but still headed that path.
Right.
Yeah.
When I was dancing as a male stripper, I would dance in gay clubs. And in a gay club, if you've never been to one, it's not full of men trying to fuck men. It's a room full of people that are homosexual. They either they like the same gender. Females are there to pick up females, males are there to pick up the males, but all of them
Yeah.
collaborate together and they're just a big gay happy family.
Right.
And so
LGBT.
exactly. So I'd be out there dancing.
T-I-N-G.
And I would love it when I would dance so good that I get the lesbians to stop and watch. That would get me pumped up, and
And then you get extra.
And
That's
then-
where the extra
and,
tips
and
came
believe
from.
it or not,
Extra ones then.
believe it or not, and I know this to be true.
He got the $2 bills. Not
Lesbians,
the
lesbians are
the
all
queer ones. Those are the queer dollar bills.
Yeah.
$2.
lesbians are all
Sorry.
bisexual.
No, yeah. No, I
Because
agree with that.
because I don't know a lesbian that does not own a dildo.
True. That is true.
I mean, they need.
They need the D. They need the D, whether it's plastic or
The real
silicone
thing.
or flesh,
Or real.
whatever.
Yeah.
They take the D.
and then it's a real and then it's a twofer, right? So if you were, let's say you'd be the guy that danced awesome, right? A lesbian in the audience was like, "I'm gonna take you home."
Yep.
Let's say you and
Yep.
her girlfriend
Yep.
go to town.
Yep.
You make it happen.
Yep.
And then she can have a baby.
Yep.
Not to screw up what's going on there. And then now it's a win-win for them
Twice.
that happened.
Twice.
Okay.
I've got two.
I need a whole episode of this. what he was. Yep. Twice. Yep. Twice. Yep. Twice. I need a whole episode of this. At least 30 minutes worth of that.
Gotcha.
Like, I need it.
Honestly, I was taught how to eat pussy by a lesbian couple.
I believe that.
That's the best.
They-
That's the
they-
best teacher.
The lesbian, the masculine lesbian in the relationship was a friend of mine. We worked together. She wanted her girlfriend.
Her name was Megan.
No, it was
Manisha.
Tom.
Stacy. Her name, I think, was Stacy.
Oh.
And no,
Such a
I was
feminine
close.
name. Yeah,
Jamie.
close.
Jamie was her name. Stacy was her girlfriend's name.
Oh,
Jamie. Her name was Jamie. Hey,
Jamie.
I'm Jamie. I'm a lesbian.
Jamie.
So
You
Jamie.
can call me Jaime.
Jamie
Is it weird
told
when I
me-
do this when I say Jamie? I do this. Jamie.
Jamie had a girlfriend named Stacy. Stacy
Right.
was a 21-year-old girl who had never been with a man.
Okay.
And she just thought she was lesbian, and so whatever. And so Jamie was like, look, for her birthday, I want her to be with a man, but it's got to be a man that I trust that ain't going to get feelings and get all clingy.
Right.
You've been a cool dude. You know, we work together. I trust you. So it was almost like my buddy asking me to come over and bang his wife. And I was like, man, this is kind of weird. But no,
But okay.
all right.
All right.
roll with
I'm
it.
sure.
You gonna ask me? Nothing.
He's wanting Albert to ask. Fucking Marcus the sexual surrogate, right?
No, never.
That's
Not
what.
me. No.
That's
No,
what it is. Sexual surrogacy. So
Sexual surrogacy?
yeah, it exists. I just saying. But
Yeah.
It
for
is.
hire.
He's been there twice.
At least.
no, that was sperm
times.
donor. But at the end of the day, as a nurse, I never did anything unprofessional. As a stripper, I never did anything unprofessional. And as a comedian, I won't.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all about that. I love what I'm doing more than I love sex.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because when I did porn, it was literally doing sex for a living. I got to a point where I hated sex.
Yeah.
I literally hated sex
Yeah, makes
because
sense.
I had to do
Makes
it.
sense. That was your job.
Like
When-
when I had to have sex 12 times in one day. No,
Same thing as a landscaper, Albert. You know,
right?
every time you have to mow yards.
A quarter of you knows.
Yeah, when you quarter me knows.
A quarter of his longest
When you have to
photo.
mow the yard, you say fuck it. You get somebody else to do it.
Right,
Right.
exactly.
Same thing.
Just like anything.
Yep.
Same thing.
So I was there with sex. So when I got into other careers, the fame or whatever was not the motivator. It was totally finance. Totally, how much money can I make? How fast can I make it?
Right.
When is it going to start making me money? Whatever.
Yeah.
I was always worried about the dollar, you know. But when I became a nurse, it became about the feel good, and that's what the comedy's been about. Is about the feel good.
Okay.
Is like making people. Is I want to make some important statements about things that people will pay attention to, like for example, when I joked earlier on the first episode or the first part of this episode about being a male nurse
Yeah.
and how difficult it is because we are the minority.
Yeah.
We are
Yeah.
literally the minority.
Yeah.
And so hashtag male nurse is an important hashtag for me because it goes right up there with the other ones that people will yell at me about, like hashtag me too and hashtag Black Lives Matter. They go, oh, your hashtag doesn't mean shit.
To you it does.
To me it does.
It
Yeah,
does.
to you it does.
Fuck you. You have never been a male nurse wearing scrubs with a thermometer up your ass while you're doing fucking chest compression.
Episode 1.
Episode 1.
Episode 1, yeah.
So
Part 1
Part
of
one.
Tommy D.
So
Yeah, that's true, man.
you know,
That's true.
and so that's what I want to do in comedy is to bring a message that makes people think, makes them laugh, but makes them think.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I might have to follow the advice of George Carlin where he said I had to quit giving a fuck what society thought.
Yeah.
And just tell them how I thought.
Yep.
And that's where
good.
I'm kind of getting. I'm
That's
trying
good.
to find my voice in comedy. They say you got to find your voice in comedy. I'm trying to find my voice because sitting here cutting up with you guys is fun, but when you get up on stage, it's completely different.
It is.
It's hard to generate this kind of energy when it's just you and a mic and a light, and that's it.
I want to let you know, as a comedy guy like you, as I want to say that hats off to you, because you have found a niche. You have found a way to bring your real life into comedy, and that's where I think you are gonna make something. I think you are gonna do something, because the fact that you made your real life situation where you've been, your life has made it to where now you can talk about.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
You know what I mean? Funnily. Is that a word? I don't know. Make jokes about what you've been through
with humor.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's why
humor. With humor.
Yeah.
That's where I think you're going to be okay.
A movie that you can add to your watch list is Patch Adams.
Oh,
it's an awesome movie. It's a great movie.
Robin Williams, rest his soul.
Yep.
A tormented soul, right there,
Yep.
because he committed suicide because of that.
Yep.
What he couldn't get out in comedy, he couldn't talk about his demons.
Yep.
And I try to talk about my demons as much as possible in comedy, and not stifle it too much, but not to the point that I shut people off.
Yeah.
I just want to bring them right to the edge of getting their face fucked, and then back off enough to where they don't gag on the comments that shoots out the end of their nose. Fucking. But that would be the best way to do comedy for me, would be to have it to that level. But I'm not there yet. I still got to dig around for my voice a little bit more. And I'll find it. Yeah. I'll get to that point where I can be comfortable up on stage. I got to kind of play by the rules the way they are right now. So.
Well, let me ask you this: do you still kind of get nervous when you get on stage?
Every single time.
Every single time.
You have to.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're not performing. You're just going up there to bitch.
Mm-hmm.
My job's to go up there and perform. I think
you're doing a great job when it comes to like these open mics. Like you're. Even though you're directing it to a group of comics that are trying to just spit their material out so they can perfect it,
right?
Like you're pushing it to the point of, just the regular average person that happened to walk into a bar,
right? Yeah,
get a laugh real quick.
If you've ever seen somebody go up and do their first mic, they don't get a laugh at all.
No,
hardly ever. I've never seen anybody walk up and tear up a mic.
No.
And everybody swears to God Joe Rogan walked up and tore up a mic on an open mic.
No, that didn't.
He never fucking did that.
Well, Rogan's been in this almost 30 years. Like that just.
Well, he supposedly started as a stand-up comic after he got into Taekwondo. He was Taekwondo champion, four-time champion or some shit.
Yeah.
And so a total badass in that realm. And already had fame and popularity based on that. So his level of security and confidence when he hit the stage was high already. He wasn't good at it, but he was already high.
Yeah.
And so that's why it was easy for him to take off and go and do shit like Fear Factor and stuff like. When he did Fear Factor, he had been not even 2 years in entertainment in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And it was just he did it because that was the spot he got.
Yeah.
From doing open mics and being popular in the LA scene already. So, my hat's off to Joe Rogan for being cool.
Yeah.
I hate his podcast. I think he's a fucking moron when it comes to his opinions.
We're completely different. Like, we love his podcast. Yeah. All three of us.
Well, I appreciate
I don't listen to things.
The level of his content.
Not even our own shit.
Nope.
I don't say I love him, but he's all right.
I like him.
I don't hate him. Yeah, I don't hate him.
I like him UFC wise.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I like him.
I like him that way.
I don't listen to his comedy stuff. I don't.
His stand up's pretty good. Like he's very animated.
Yeah.
And I can appreciate that kind of style of comedy.
Have you seen his most recent stuff?
Yeah, I did.
I think that's his best ever.
It's not bad. It was more to me the first comedy show he had.
I think he was real. No, I think he was real this time.
I think this time he was more produced. It looked more like his podcast. I don't like his podcast.
Okay, so
really,
what? Because it produced?
Mm-hmm.
So my question to you is, okay, so if that's not that great, what do you look for in a comedy, like a Netflix show, or like what do you looking for? I mean,
Lisa Lampanelli.
Yeah, you like Lisa Lampanelli?
old
Lisa Lampanelli before she lost weight and stopped fucking black guys.
Okay, yeah, that was good.
Before she married the white guy,
Yeah.
she was funny as fuck.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, because she didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, she
didn't.
did. Oh yeah,
Joe
she
Rogan
did.
gives a fuck now.
He does.
When he was funny was
He's
when
got
he
shit to
didn't
lose.
give a
He's got
fuck.
shit to
Now
lose.
he's got shit to lose,
If he gives a fuck.
and
Yeah.
he gives a fuck now.
I
And
get
so,
it.
but if you watch his, I mean, I've watched his podcast, and I don't know, I'm just against hypocrisy,
Okay.
but he's a total hypocrite.
So you're against
He will-
mainstream, sort of, a little bit?
No,
Maybe-
he
no?
just
But he has a wide variety of everything. on
views
his
totally.
things.
Yeah, as
Well,
well.
not views. I mean, just like his guest appearances.
Oh, yeah.
with everything. It's
I mean, he had
all over
Elon
the
Musk
board.
on, and
Yeah.
and he had
Neil
Elon Musk.
deGrasse. He had
Right. He's had a variety of
Yeah, a
people,
lot of
not
people.
just MMA, which I think is cool because it gives him that opportunity
range.
to have some range. And but what he does is he double talks himself into a hole.
Does he?
If you listen to him, he contradicts himself. Go listen to his Elon Musk interview and then come back and watch what he talked to Johnny Knoxville about. It's two different things, but the same subject. And it's
Okay.
like you're being a fucking hypocrite. Stop
Oh.
it.
I haven't
Stop
seen
it.
him
I
with
mean,
Johnny
and-
Knoxville. Maybe
and-
that's
and-
where I'm wrong.
He'll go, and I was just using that as a hypothetical, but he will, in the same topic, even in one show, talk about how he's one-sided this way,
And
then
then
he
he
goes
goes the other.
one-sided that way, and then he flips back, and that's his shtick. I get it, but I don't appreciate it. I want you to pick
What
a
if he's
pick a
just
side.
an individual that wants to absorb knowledge?
Well, he absorbs knowledge, but if you watch him, he tries to push his agenda. And I mean, we're all here to push an agenda.
Yeah.
But he does it from a hypocritical point of view. He's like, women rule the world, in one breath, and then he's like, men deserve to be treated the way we're treated. But
Okay.
then he flips back and he's like, men need to be taking care of their women better, and women need to take care of their men better. And it's like, well, you're giving us two different messages,
Oh,
jackass.
Yeah, I get it. I get
Which
what you're
message
saying.
are you wanting people to pick up?
Well, what if it's
My-
all the messages?
Yeah, that's,
can't
that's
do
my
both.
Thing. That's
But
my
you
thing.
can,
Yeah,
though.
I can't
You
do both. No,
Why
you can't.
Why can't you do
my
both?
my thing is I just respectfully disagree, because the fact that the only thing that I think of from what I hope we're trying to accomplish is the fact that I would like to see both sides of things, like what you're probably saying.
Two perspectives is one thing.
Right, yeah, two perspectives, and I don't, not to be myself, I don't want to be one-sided to Joe Rogan, and
Right.
I don't want to be one-sided to whatever he is against or whatever, you know what I mean?
Right.
I don't want to be on both. My thing is I like to see both sides of it
Oh, okay.
and let the audience see their own opinion.
Right.
Is my thing.
Right. I get.
I
what
would
you're
like
saying.
to have both sides of whatever we bring.
Do you think he's
Obviously-
playing devil's advocate?
No, I think it comes off that way to some people, but the person I would compare him to is Bill Burr. I mean,
Okay.
Bill Burr does a podcast.
Yep.
You watch Bill Burr, he doesn't change his mind just to
Please anybody.
appease anybody.
Yes.
He brings somebody on that's an opposition,
Yeah.
and he fights them fair. Verbal, a verbal debate, whatever. He has
So
a good
that's the
verbal debate
opposite.
with him.
You like Bill Burr?
Yeah,
It's
because
he-
Bill Burr picks a side
I mean,
and
Bill
says-
Burr's
them.
pretty good.
says,
No,
"I'm
on
going to
his
stick.
podcast,
I'm going
yeah.
to stick with the way I feel about this. I believe your side."
I agree.
but-
No, I totally agree.
no, but
I
that's
like
what
that. I
Bill
like that.
Burr does. Is he'll be like,
Yeah.
we're going to disagree, and
Yeah.
that's the entertainment.
Right.
Whereas Joe Rogan looks like a bipolar schizophrenic arguing with himself.
Right.
And he's got the girl sitting over in the corner chirping in every once in a while, going, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
He has a girl there.
Once in a
I
while,
know
he's
that.
got a chick on the podcast,
Does he?
doesn't
I
he?
don't know. Yeah, well, he had
It's like
Is
a
it a
co-host.
guest? Is it a guest?
No,
or
it's
is
like
it
a co-host.
Yeah, like
Oh.
somebody's always there just chiming in.
No, he always has just like a guest or some shit. I don't know. I don't watch it that often.
But you love him.
Yeah, I know.
That you
No,
love him.
that's good. I mean,
He's
'cause
good. I think he's really good.
Yeah.
He sets an example for podcasts.
Well, you got to watch
Exactly.
the example to set the podcast up. Because honestly, I mean, he'll run for 4 hours and 30 minutes.
Well,
That's too long.
that
That's
that
too
was
long.
most recent with their
Yeah,
fucking.
but
weight
he's
loss
getting out of
challenge
control.
bullshit.
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
2 hour, 30 minutes. If you
Let-
want to have that
You can't
time,
have
Let-
three
let-
other comics on a show though, and like not give them their time. Though.
True, I get it.
So you have 4 people that are comics, and they're going to voice their opinion. You need to have
That time.
the time to do that.
I look at it this way.
4
I-
hours. That's long. Man.
Yeah, that is.
And
long,
no,
though.
I
Listen-
listened to that episode most recently, and that episode I couldn't even get through 2
Yeah,
hours
you
of
can't.
it.
No.
I was like, I
too
was
long or what?
No,
Yeah,
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 super
too
long.
Yeah.
And
So-
they had Burt Kreischer, Tom Segura,
right.
they had
Yeah, it's a-
Ari Sheriff,
Right.
Sharif,
Sharif.
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 and then Joe Rogan.
Right.
They're all talking about their challenge, but they're all trying to broadcast themselves.
Okay,
too.
yeah,
Yeah.
fuck
Yeah,
that.
of course.
My thing is what I would like us to be or to have is I would like us to have something to where if we had one side, whoever's here is say their piece, or if we have more than one guest talk about. Okay, Bill Maher
Yeah.
Right.
is a good person to.
Example.
He a good example. He has a panel of people.
Right.
Not to copy what he has, but he has people that opposites him.
Yeah.
He has people that are on his side.
He's super Democrat or libertarian
He's-
or whatever,
he's
but then he
Democratic,
brings
he's
in
Democratic,
a
but-
couple Republicans, and he
right,
brings
right.
in
And
one.
he has a panel of people.
Do
that
you not
talk-
like Bill Maher?
I like Bill Maher, but like he sometimes goes over the edge.
Oh, I think so.
And
I think he is one-sided sometimes.
He's
too
hugely
much.
one-sided,
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and he does shut down, and that's fine. I respect that
because he's on
over
that side.
somebody.
But he's real
that-
about it though.
That's
True.
what I'm saying. But
That's
he's
what I'm saying.
I
He
respect
doesn't
that over
change.
somebody who's like back
Who's
and forth.
faking
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And to me that's you're just pandering to the crowd.
Yep.
Yeah,
And I'm the type of comic I don't want to pander.
yeah.
And I want to be the type of entertainer that draws you in because I attracted you, not because I pandered to you.
Yeah.
And that's, it's kind of like dancing for lesbians. I didn't ask you to come over and
Oh,
watch
my
me,
God.
but you are,
Yeah.
That's a good title of a CD.
Dancing for Lesbians.
That's
Yeah.
almost a good band title.
Oh my God! Either way, that'd be.
So
I would buy that CD.
at that point, a lot of people don't necessarily find my comedy funny.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Right
I
now,
liked it. I liked it.
I'm in the early stages of comedy, trying to find my voice. But at some point, I'm going to come out about what would the world be like if women ran it?
You heard it here first, Tommy D.
Go
on Three Amigos.
Yeah, go to a hospital and try to live in a hospital. A hospital is the kind of world it would be if a woman ran it.
Yeah.
And so,
So Scott was kind of running on a good point, though. You've
that?
listened to a few of our shows,
Right.
So maybe giving a little bit of
Yeah, what's your feedback on us?
yeah.
I would suggest just if there's one thing that I would throw in here to make it more successful, because this is awesome, awesome show. You just got the basics that you really need. You've got the ability to talk, you've got the ability to think, and you've got the ability to laugh about it. So
Yeah.
that's your base ingredients to a good show. And to add further to that would only be to, instead of doing it like grandma style, where she knew the ingredients by heart, she didn't need to measure nothing out. Since you've never done this before, any of you,
Yeah.
I would put the recipe down to a good show on paper and follow it every time.
Oh, okay. Yep.
I think
Yeah.
I mean we're
We-
trying to perfect that with an agenda.
That's
every
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
We,
Sure.
We're also
honestly,
trying to
we're
be
honestly-
free flowed like we have been this entire
Free
episode.
flow is fine, but it's just like I said, instead of maybe writing down 1/4 cup of flour
Yep.
and being that specific, you can just say that you need a little bit of flour, and it could carry a very light structure to it
Yeah.
still, but
Okay.
it needs some structure, because watching it, I'm like, huh? And I will squirrel.
Okay.
And
I have
I've
mentioned
gone
that
back
multiple
3
times.
times.
I've
I mean,
heard that.
it takes 15 minutes for me to shit, so I can take about 4 times to get through you guys' show.
My wife has said the same thing as far as it's kind of all over the place sometimes.
Right.
Do you agree?
You got to rein it back, and I've done that a couple times here, but
A better
you
better
guys
structure.
have even noticed where
Yeah.
when I start trailing off,
Yeah.
Yeah.
better
you're
structure.
trying to bring me back. Yeah,
That's what you mean.
yeah. So because you guys are friends, you don't know when you're trailing off.
Yeah, that's true.
You just
Yeah,
don't.
very
Could
true.
be,
Yeah.
yeah. You're
You
right.
know.
When we're doing it, we're just going we're just
Yeah.
Freestyle.
talking.
Freestyle.
I mean, just
Right.
almost like we go off on things and we have topics and then we go, and then we're back here, then we're back there. We have to be more here.
And
So
to me, it's just a
essentially,
fluidity.
we need to try to stop bringing it back. Is what you're kind of saying. Like once we've moved on, we need to move on.
Well, I mean, if you moved on, finish it up. Don't
Oh yeah, finish it.
don't leave half the sandwich on the
Yeah.
plate
And then come back.
and then come back, finish the sandwich, and go all the way through to the end. It's kind of like me telling my jokes. If I didn't tell you about
You didn't finish it.
doing chest compressions,
Yeah.
and I just said I rolled into the ER and I got a thermometer up my ass, you would not understand the punchline.
Very true. You're very true.
So it's hard to understand your punchline if you get to it 10 minutes from now.
Yeah, yeah. If you don't finish it, then you come back to it and
Because
try to
you've
do the
hit two other
punchline.
topics, and then
Yeah.
you're like, "Oh, that reminds me, I got to tell you about this."
Nah, gotta finish the
And
punchline
so
on this. one.
finish your topics,
Yeah.
scratch it off physically. Because like when I'm looking at my set list, I'm looking at it going, okay, done, done.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and moving on to the next. You know,
Okay.
so
It's sound advice.
good.
I-
that's
Thank
the
you.
only thing I would add. Is just
Thank
a
you.
little bit of structure. Intro, sponsors. Do a segment. Do 2 segments.
So
and
you're
when
gonna
I
be
say
our sponsor
segments,
going
boom,
forward?
boom, done.
Is that what you're saying?
Sure, I'll sponsor you up.
Okay.
Yeah, Tommy D
Well-
Comedy. Hydrate. Arizona Hydrate. Yeah, I'll come in and give you guys your hangover therapy tomorrow morning. For
Yes.
free. We just got to film it. When I put the
So
IV in.
one last question to you.
Yeah.
Do you want to ask it?
No, go ahead.
One last question to you.
Yeah.
What is your 5-year plan?
5-year. Netflix.
Oh, nice.
Netflix special?
I would like to.
Do you really want to do Netflix? So I feel like
I would do a
Netflix right
Netflix
now is
special.
giving everybody a
like the
special.
Kmart
They
thing.
are.
I feel
yeah,
like-
that's why I want one.
Yeah.
I feel
might
like
as well get
HBO
it.
though is like being more selective now that
A little bit.
Netflix
I
is
mean,
giving
any
everybody-
kind of special.
I
You
think
gotta
that
get
would
it
be
with
Any kind of
yeah.
special at this point, but
Hell yeah.
I say a Netflix special because it's the it's the cool hip thing right
Right
now.
now.
In
Yeah.
5 years,
Yeah.
it might not be.
You're right.
Right.
Right? Yeah.
But using that as my benchmark of where I would be, and that I'm famous now. I made it. I made it for most comics today doing stand up is
Yeah.
the Netflix special.
Netflix special.
You know, because everybody's getting one.
Yeah.
Because ultimately the thing that a comic likes to do is be on stage, be the center of attention, and enjoy it. And in order to do a Netflix special, you got to have an hour's worth of material. And just sitting here with the 4 of us the last 3
I
hours.
mean, that's not necessarily true. I mean, they had the Degenerates most recently
Right.
with Joey and
Yeah, it was like 8 comics, right?
I think it was like 5 maybe or 6.
Maybe
I
5
mean,
or 6.
Yeah, but
But what they
everybody
did-
got a 30 minutes basically.
Right. What they did was what's called a showcase.
Yeah.
And in comedy, that's called a showcase, where they just you get jokes in between. When I say a Netflix special, I'm thinking like Jeff Foxworthy 1 hour special, a Ron White 1 hour special, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm doing a Netflix special, I'm probably touring. And right now, when I started comedy, I wanted to do 20 open mics. And so I did that, and I accomplished that in the first month of doing comedy. So then I set another goal of doing 5 booked shows, where somebody asked me to come in kind of like this, come in, do 10 minutes, do 5 minutes, do 15 minutes, and then off.
Yeah.
And I did that. So then I was like, all right, my next goal was 120 booked shows. And that's paid or not paid.
Okay.
And so I actually did that. In the process of that now, I'm at like number 14 now.
Okay.
And I just set this goal last month. So,
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Okay.
and so it's just
Pretty
popping
good.
off,
Yeah.
one right after the other.
And you have to do it that way, man. You gotta get out there. Right? You gotta
Yeah.
Get out there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, every show I've ever gotten came from being at another show.
At another show. Okay.
You know, but now the contacts are starting to come in through Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, where they're like, hey, I've seen you, would you like to perform here,
Yeah.
do this, whatever.
If you could give some advice on how to write your material what would you give?
I would go and take a writing class.
Okay.
Just if you want.
Did Stir Crazy help you with that?
Yeah, when I went to that class that was ran by Deanne Kincaid. She's a ASU professor for theater arts.
Okay.
She's so she does teaching for a living,
Okay.
comedy for a hobby, and she's funny.
Oh, okay.
Fairly funny, but she's nobody famous. All she's doing is providing a reduced version of the knowledge that she's gotten over 30 years of doing this.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
cool.
so she's read maybe 200 books, and she's giving you, in an 8-week period, she's giving you the best information from thousands of books that she's read.
And in a
So-
class like that, what is the average cost for that?
It's about $250
For all
not
8
bad.
weeks?
for all 8 weeks, and then
Okay.
you get a showcase out of the end of it,
Oh,
Okay.
that's
where
not
you
bad.
can actually get to perform yourself and all that.
Do some of those that don't take or that do take the class, do they not do the showcase?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
up to you. Oh, okay.
So they'll go all the way through. They'll
They realize it's not for them.
work on stuff and then realize it's not for them, and they won't do it.
Okay.
So we've had a few times where people have dropped out. But the first showcase I did, we had 9 comics. We actually sold out 2 shows,
Okay.
and it was an amazing night because we had 2 sold out shows.
Nice.
And then she said that's never happened before. So it was like, well, we just told a lot of people. And that's what it really came down to was
Yeah.
I think maybe 25 or 30 people came to see me perform.
Nice.
Okay.
You know, but like my last show, I had 6. So, because you didn't show up either, bitch. So,
I told you I need a fortnight notice. I learned that from somebody.
right.
Scotty.
Don't steal my shit.
All I know is that,
I got my own shit going on in my life, dude.
sent him messages
I
and
no.
no reply
No response.
and ghosted.
You know what I appreciate more? You don't know.
I left my phone in the car.
Ghosted.
No, that I've
Why?
never said.
Why you stalking
Excuses.
me?
Excuses.
You stop.
Why you stalking
What
me?
I appreciate more is you doing it in front of a bunch of comedians.
What's that?
Your open mic.
Oh yeah.
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 I appreciate that more than doing it in front of a live audience because
Yeah.
they won't laugh.
Right.
Like they know your skit,
Right.
and so when like you actually do make one of them laugh,
Then you know you got a little bit of gold.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there have been times, like I've been to a few of your open mics where like all of a sudden there is a comedian over in the fucking corner
Who
that,
giggles?
yeah, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I fucking see you.
And then I just
I've been one of them too.
I
like,
go to town on it.
yeah.
and it can be distracting because it'll pull me off my shit. That's the thing to doing open mics is you want to just do exactly your set if you were performing it in front of a live crowd.
Okay.
So nobody's laughing, so you got to do your own pauses for laughing. You got to
Yep.
put in your own
Oh,
time,
yeah. Yep.
and it's very hard. And
Yeah.
so at some point you might get somebody who will chuckle or whatever, and so then you just get excited about the chuckle, and so you'll change your entire script
Yeah.
just to keep running with
Yeah.
the chuckle, just to keep getting the giggle. Good comics
Yeah.
don't get trapped by the chuckle,
Oh, really?
and they
It
just
continue.
finish their set
Yeah.
and
Yep.
go home.
Yep.
Or
It's
go to
just
the next
practice,
mic.
like you said.
That's
just
it.
Practice.
That's all it is. So I mean, I will do my set list over and
That's
over
why
and over.
I appreciate the open mics more. I
Yeah.
like to watch
With
you
the
do your
comedians.
work in the open mics. Because
It's literally like just doing a craft. It's just it's just like say like I don't know if you've ever been to a like a hipster bar where they go up and they do poetry and everybody
Oh yeah.
claps with their thumb,
Yeah.
it's
claps with
almost
their snaps.
that's
Yeah.
almost like an open mic.
It's
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
exactly what an open mic
Yeah.
is.
Right.
It's just that we've kicked out all the true artists and you've got the comedians up there just cutting jokes.
Okay.
So it was like George Carlin said, it's the crudest form of expression, stand-up comedy.
Stand up
Yeah,
comedy.
that's true.
So it's the crudest form of art and entertainment, but
Yeah.
we're still art and entertainment,
Yeah.
So we don't act,
Yeah.
we just go up there and do our shit.
Yep.
So, but I think comedy's been changing too, because like we can't do comedy like Andrew Dice Clay used to do.
No.
Can't be
Yeah.
You
crude.
can't just do
as
them
much.
one-liners. It just doesn't work.
No, it's storytelling.
true, huh?
It's storytelling.
Yeah.
It's talking about real life. It's
Yeah.
talking about
So When
real
we're hanging
issues.
out, when we're hanging out at a bar, like how famous do you feel when I'm standing next to you?
Like, I don't feel famous at all. What I feel is like everybody's looking at me like, where in the fuck did you find Tom Segura? And I've had people come over and they're like, how do you know Tom? I'm like, it's not Tom Segura.
I
asshole.
even introduced
No,
myself
don't even-
as Tom Segura.
I'm like,
Just
look,
run with it. You should run with
no.
I have.
I'm like, looking
No.
at me, he's uglier.
it.
Uglier than Tom Segura. But
He says that shit, but I'm the sexier Tom Segura.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
have.
That's all you-
I have
I let him run
introduced
with it.
myself
I love when he runs with it, though. But
I'm the stunt double.
what I do tell people when he ain't there, and so I can blow his ego up a little bit, is when he ain't there, they're like, "Oh, where's your Tom Segura?" I'm like, "He's writing my jokes, bitches." So
I won't lie. I wrote a couple of his jokes.
yeah, he's definitely fed me some material
They bombed.
while I was on my knees,
That's
and he's
cute.
like, "Tell it like this, boy." Okay.
Close your eyes, Tom. Close your eyes, Tom.
Yeah. So
Stop looking up.
yeah, no, he likes it when you look up.
Oh, that's cute.
You just got to try to get out past the belly.
Feed the
So you
baby.
got to do a
Feed the
long,
baby.
you got to
Feed
do
the
a
baby.
long drag back so you can give him
What-
the
what
eyes.
did- what
and
did
go back
Feed
in.
the baby
What did we
bird.
call it earlier? Long dicking?
Long
Long
digging.
digging.
Long digging.
Find the Cheerios in the beard.
Let me tell you about some Cheerios now.
Oh, all right.
We might have to go to the next show for that.
Yeah, we might have to wait for that one.
All right.
I think
So
that's it.
I
We
think
good?
I think we should start wrapping it up a little bit.
Well, just to throw it out there, let everybody know again. Actually, I'm going to be December 1st. I think
yes,
that's a
tell us where you're
Saturday.
gonna be.
Is Saturday December? Somebody got a calendar?
Yes, it is. Saturday is December 1st.
December 1st. We're going to be over at
Saturday.
Metro Mall
Okay,
from 2 to 5.
that's the PG show, right?
Yep, that's our PG show.
Okay.
Darrell Hearns.
You do a PG show?
PG. Yeah, I got a PG version
Sorry,
of all
that
this shit.
shocked the shit out of me. Keep
Oh,
going.
you know, it's sweet.
That's
it's,
all right, that's
It
good.
does have its twist.
It's fucking. Is it Toys for Tots?
It does have its twist. I talk about growing up with a role model like Evel Knievel.
Oh, that's cute.
So my role model was Evel Knievel growing up. So that was fucked up.
We'll leave that.
I'll
one
leave that.
for
I'll
the
leave
next
that
one,
for
yeah.
another one. But
That's a really good one, though.
December 1st, Metro City Mall, Phoenix.
Okay.
Don't get stabbed.
Is it Metro City, Metro Center?
Metro Center.
Metro Center.
Yep.
We'll be in the food court
Okay.
doing comedy.
Really?
And doing a little comedy networking.
When are you gonna be at the Quail again?
Quail will be on Wednesday this week.
This
I'll be
Wednesday?
over at the Quail Wednesday night at 10.
Damn it.
And then I've got December 20th, I'll be at the Comedy Spot, Toso's Lounge,
Okay.
up in North Phoenix. I believe that one's an 8 o'clock show. And then the 28th will be the fundraiser benefit for the British Comedy Doc Show, the Brit Comedy Doc Show.
Prescott, right?
Prescott Valley.
Okay.
It's actually in a.
Prescott.
Prescott. Which
Do you know the story behind Prescott and Prescott?
No.
Not
Do your research.
Okay.
Well, I've seen a skit that you've done on it.
A little
I
bit.
don't want to.
I teased on
Yeah,
it, but
yeah.
the reality in history is it's Prescott, and because the guy actually
say?
Prescott was was what they would tease the guy that the name was telling them.
Yeah.
So
Oh, really?
yeah, the Prescott stuck because that's what was popular.
Oh, okay.
But what's politically
Prescott.
politically correct is
Prescott.
Prescott because that's the guy's name. So it's a
Scott.
little twisted. I guess it's more urban legend.
Oh,
And
is it?
then-
Okay.
It might be. I don't know. But I do know that the history up there is pretty thick. But
Well,
28th, Prescott Valley. It's at Dusty's Hookah Lounge. That's also an 8 o'clock show.
I'm telling you guys, dude,
we're
we
gonna try to make that happen.
the Three Amigos. We'll have him on for
Yeah.
a little bit, and
Yeah.
right before he goes on, and
Maybe we
then
can stay up there that weekend or something, or
something.
No,
It's
At
a
least
Friday. It's a Friday
Oh,
night.
Friday night.
It's
Oh,
right in
really?
between. Or I mean, yeah, it's a Friday night. It's right in between the holidays. You know, you got
Yeah,
Christmas, Wednesday,
we'll be after. But yeah,
and then you got New Year's the week.
The
You know,
week
the week
after.
after that.
Yep.
This falls right in the weekend middle.
Yep.
You know, a lot of people are going to be. If anybody's still in town, that's the only place to be right there. And then afterwards, about 10 o'clock, we go out and hit the real Whiskey Row. And this is the one from back in the cowboy days.
Yeah.
And then I think I've got a couple of corporate shows that I'll be doing. holiday
between.
shows in between. So,
All right.
but I'll be out at the mics doing the mics on a regular. I've had to take some time off for personal reasons, but I'll be back
I
doing
think
the
that we
mics
should
soon.
go see him at least at the Quill or the Quail.
Yeah, one or the other.
For when I was there and watched you, that I don't know. I felt like that was.
Well, it
was the atmosphere.
You came in on a very strange vibe night.
Why is that?
It was already strange because we by the time we get to the Quail Lounge, and when I say we, I say all the comics that I kind of travel with.
Was he wrapped in like
So we
fucking balloons?
we got like 15 or 20 guys that we'll all go hit different mics.
Oh, okay.
And so we all end up back at the Quail at the end of the night. And so it's like I might have went to Dos Gringos and Tempe Tavern. Somebody else went to Catalina's in Third Space. And so, but there's typically a group of 12 of us or 15 of us that hit the Quail at 10. It's the latest one in town, and it's the last one in town.
Okay.
And so we all end up going there. And so when we get there, and you walked in just
I felt like I was
blue.
serenaded most of the night.
And so he was literally the only guy in the crowd that wasn't comic. Everybody else is
Was it comic?
Yeah.
a comic. And we've all heard each other shit 5 times tonight. And we really don't want to be here or whatever. And Josh Harrison was there, and he was hosting.
We need to get him on here.
And Josh Harrison's funny as hell. And he recognized Tom Segura. And
He did.
was like, oh, it's Tom Segura. And then was like, wait, no, it's not. But was like, oh, I've never seen your face before, so therefore you must be new. We're going to do our comedy for you.
Oh, shit.
And so it was like, Josh started out, and then a couple people went up. And by the time I got up there, the place had started kind of getting loose and all that. And Josh had just got done, and I heckled him a little bit before he got off. And as comics, we will heckle each other because we can. We're not afraid to go back up and heckle you back.
Yeah.
And so my heckle is I will laugh inappropriately in your joke. And
Loudly, like
loud. This joke, and I
There
just
goes our
dropped.
audio for the
Yeah,
rest
that
of
was
this.
pretty.
I just dropped a real loud laugh like that on him, and he ripped me. He started roasting me. And so he roasted me from stage, and so then when I went up, I roasted him, and somebody else started heckling me, so I roasted her. And then when I got off, somebody else went up, and they started roasting me and somebody else, and then somebody else started heckling. So it turned into a heckle fest. And by the end of it, nobody's doing any of their original stuff. We're all doing were you were there that night,
Yeah,
right?
that was it. It was an awkward night, but it was still good.
The chain. It was off the chain. It was a rare night. It was a rare night, but it's still fun no matter what night you go.
Cool.
All right. Well, we're gonna end it here.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Yeah, whatever that was.
I just heard
And then,
something stop playing.
And then, yeah, we're outro it. Make sure you guys check us out on Facebook, YouTube. We've broken the record multiple times. Website's coming. Tommy D, what's your website?
TommyDComedy.com. Facebook at Tommy D. Instagram Tommy D Comedy, and YouTube. I've got Tommy D, and I've got Tombstone, which is going to be the comedy production company I'm working on.
Oh, cool.
All right.
So
Awesome.
Tombstone Productions, Tombstone
If you want to
Comedy.
interact with the show, make sure you email us, the3amigos.pc@gmail.com. You can even shout out to Tommy or ask him a question. We'll filter it back over to him. Thanks for listening and viewing in.
Yeehaw.
Yeah.
Yeehaw.
High five.
Good shit.